we are gonna talk about the background of our show, how they come about, and what inspired us to do this show. And plus, we have our in-house guest, the owner of podcast place in Long Beach, Solomon Daniels.
Hello. Our producer.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, he is awesome. He's LGBT friendly, and he really cares about the people who comes in to create the show, and the creator. He spent times to learn about you, learn about your stories. So, first of all, I'm gonna thank our listeners and audience to support our shows. We got a lot of good feedback.
Yes, we're getting great feedback.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
And also thanks for all the guests, because without them, this show won't happen.
It'd be much more boring.
Yes, so so we encourage you to follow us, subscribe to us, and also maybe if you have any question, you can always comment in the comment, like YouTube or Apple Podcasts, or you can email us or leave a message in our social media, because we're gonna answer all those questions on the show, maybe monthly. Sure. So we want to have a participation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then we also gonna have newsletter.
Yes.
So what we're gonna have in the newsletter, Michelle?
We are going to highlight different features that maybe our guests talked about. It's going to things happening in our community, what's going on with us, what are our plans for the show.
Yeah.
And so we just want to really, it's all about community building. And this is why I was excited to kind of come along on your vision, because I'm about building our community, and just to see how that's been happening through your vision of the show has been amazing. So
yeah. And then, stay till towards the end of the show, because we're going to have a giveaway.
Yeah.
This time. Yes.
Our first giveaway.
Yeah. So,
but it won't be a brand new car.
So I want to kind of give a background of how this show come about. As many people probably knew, I'm a film, TV producer and maker in the past, and I study communication art in college, which including radio is part of the major. However, during that time, my English was really bad. I'm not comfortable talking, public speaking, especially in English. So I didn't really take any radio course.
Oh,
I skipped radio course. I only concentrate on film and TV.
Okay.
So years ago, after I transitioned, I made a movie, LGBT love stories, and then involved with some shows as an actress, modeling. So it was fun. So after I done that, and then I still have this back of my mind, I say, oh, maybe I should do more, like do a radio show of some sort, or podcast. So one of my friend, he has a show at that time.
Okay.
So he has this like equipment in his house. Okay. So I was like, okay, maybe I can do a show with him or something. But this is years ago. That probably like 6 years ago. I'm in the middle of transitioning. I'm not really full time yet, per se. Yeah. So during that time, I reached out, but long story short, and then he sold his equipment because he's moving. So,
oh wow.
Yeah. So I wasn't always saying, oh well, okay. So life move on. So I came about this idea again around 2020, which when we have COVID.
Good old COVID.
Yes, because I'm everyone sitting at home, nothing to do, and everything. So that's the time when I start feeling that okay, I should maybe start doing podcasts, thinking about podcasts again.
Yeah.
And at the same time, because we have a lot of time at home, so I started learning a lot about business, about personal development. And then it hits me because I realize personal development is part of life transformation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So have you ever experienced that? Like when you when you're not sure, you kind of afraid. It's all about in your head.
Right.
But if you like the example I'm giving, I'm not comfortable public speaking in English, but I overcome to do podcasts.
Yes,
So that will.
And you do amazing.
Thank you with your help. So what I'm trying to say is so 2020, and then I reached out to another friend that she some sort had a business background, because I wanted the show to be about life transformation and also related to personal development and business, because that will encourage people, trans community, to do more business, because we often get discriminated from employment and all that. Yeah. So, and then, like I said before, I feel lonely without knowing anything. There's no trans colleagues in the business. And by doing this show, I reach out, I expand my contact, my network. Yeah. So what happened is the person that I was reaching out in the beginning, it didn't work out, which I didn't give up, because originally we were supposed to start in January of this year, 2022, but we delayed it until March because of that reason. But I didn't give up, and luckily I met Michelle and we hit it off. And she's, sharing with me her business trend zone, and that's perfect, aligned to what my vision is for the show. And she also connect with me with many different business owner, trans community people. Yeah. So that's great. That's where I come about. And also, I want to mention Solomon, because originally we were planning to do the show our own, like recording the audios, and that's kind of crazy and dangerous. But my business mindset kicks in. You know how we are. We should always delegate out to people who's more professional in their field, instead of spend time and delay the process. So that's how I feel about this show, and that's how I inspiring to do. To tell stories, because everybody's story is amazing, and it really inspired me as well. So I always say all stories matters.
Absolutely.
So that's how I came about doing this show.
And it's funny because I never saw myself doing a podcast. I don't like my voice. I don't like appearing in front of camera. And just the hassle of it, all the equipment, and so that's why we were just talking about on the way here today of Shelby reaching out to Solomon and being the first one that she contacts, because that happened to be relatively close to us. And to be able to have this as a resource, and it's just elevated what we're trying to do so much. You can imagine if we're in my little studio apartment or your apartment, and trying to sit on the bed they're going to
see my bed in the background.
Exactly.
Professional.
Exactly. But going back to building community, I think in some ways our community is very strong. In other ways, there's a lot of opportunity to grow. There's still competition and infighting and comparison, and we all have to work through. But the more that we as a community can build into each other, get to know each other, work together, collaborate on projects, the more that we'll take care of our own and show a light of what our community really is about. Our community is about survival and growing and thriving and becoming who we're meant to be.
Because like the example I give, a lot of time no matter if it's personal relationship or business career, we always gonna hit a wall. Eventually. So, and what do you do when you hit the wall is the most key point. Because people can just give up or just forget about it, even including transition.